Alright, so heads up. You hit the ball straight and then use WASDA to move your ball.
Wait, you can
And you
like
have
turn in midair?
it would not in midair on the ground. Like you become a little go-kart, literally.
Whoa, dude. Wait, so I thought it was just one and done.
It is one stroke.
Dude, what the heck?
To preface though, also with our discussion, we are on episode 2, the slave girl. That is the entire part of introducing Raftalia and her background, along with some minor fighting. She fights a few of the balloons, and then next episode goes into an actual fighting scene kind of with Nafumi.
Yeah. Oh gosh. Oh god. Okay, this game actually got a little more interesting seeing that there's actually more than just hitting the ball. You can actually
It is
move the ball.
a lot of customizability.
Dude, how did I not see this? That's fine.
How do you guys feel about the ending of episode 2 with the ketchup or tomato on the white flag to make the flag of Japan?
I actually don't remember that.
I actually thought that was kind of cool.
It's when they're eating, so it's like this when they get the kid meal a second time and go back to get food after they fight the big doggo. He takes her flag off her meal and literally makes the flag of Japan, like stating he will return home at some point.
Hmm.
And
Interesting.
then the next episode is Wave Catastrophe. That's when it goes more into fighting.
Oh yeah, yes, yes, yes. Also, it was kind of I am kind of curious on how they said they would be, I believe. Okay, 9 strokes. Wow. They said they were talking about like giving them a reward, and I was a little confused how would they would do that because like again these are like an alternate universe, and so I'm like maybe they're doing some like weird voodoo thing where like the same way they sort of implemented this book into Nafumi's universe. Like that's the only way to like. Otherwise, it's like I guess they wouldn't give them an actual like in their own universe reward. Like that would sort of like assume that Nafumi would stay in that universe, which they did bring up I think once or twice about how like maybe I'm making things up here, but like I think I remember something about along lines of like staying there. I don't know. I forget, but the whole reward
Yeah,
thing.
it's a weird thing. So like the reward system they talk about is that they will be rewarded here, and then after the waves are done, they are to be sent home. However, again, remember, only Naofumi is still alive back home.
But like we don't get that in the anime, I guess. So like,
Yeah.
oh what the? Wait, do you just hit it slowly then? Well,
No, you hit it kind of hard. You have to time it.
but yeah,
This is kind of this is a mean 18 holes. How did you feel about the entire part where the three heroes decide to fight the one boss, while Nafumi is the only one doing crowd control, damage control, helping out the people?
dude, I was like, wow, they did not for me bad because like we we get to see that they're actually fighting the boss when they're like launching their giga strong electric bolt and fire explosion attacks, and Nafumi's just like, shield block, and I'm just like he's way behind. I feel like he's way
Aaron
behind.
Shield is really cool.
Like there
The
was
way that he was in combat with the shield, though, I mean, he was holding off a lot.
Yeah, and I think this was actually the first part where we actually saw more offensive abilities of his shield, where like he would do like the airstrike, and he would actually use that to not only project himself like as a platform, but I think he used it to like slam someone. Maybe that's later on in this in the episodes that we didn't cover yet. But
Yeah,
um,
that is the future.
yeah, yeah. So like this was actually when we start to see Nafumi actually using his abilities differently, which is actually kind of interesting. And I was wondering because like when we saw his menu screen, we actually saw like a lot of stuff, and so I'm not sure how the abilities work, but I assumed like he's got a few passive abilities, like abilities
Yes,
that aren't necessarily like visually like
that is
aren't
definitely a
visual.
thing. There is a difference between you want to hit it much harder, Jonas. Like ram the ball. The goal is the black painting on the other wall. it goes into it later that a lot of his, or even goes in during the light novel, if you like watch cut content on it, a lot of the shields give passive abilities. So like the slave shield he gets when he gets Philo in the next episode is a bonus that his companions and slaves level up faster. They get a bonus for being with him
Ah,
as
okay.
a slave shield. And then other shields will be like give him crafting bonuses and potion making bonuses.
Okay. So this is actually a good point. I'm glad you're making this because I didn't understand because when we actually saw Raftalia and Naofumi like fighting like at the balloons that he actually is carrying balloons with him, we actually saw that like Raftalia is like out leveling Naofumi, which is kind of weird because like
So that's one purpose of that though is as she is the DPS, she's the one beating these things, so he gets the assist XP while she gets the main kill XP.
this is true, but also I'm not sure how much Naofumi was fighting the balloons because he was actually fighting balloons with Maya and the princess that was like that accused that did the rape accusation
Yeah.
event with. So like he was actually fighting before Raftalia, but I'm not sure if that's enough to warrant the XP change. The difference in XP.
They do show the numbers, so like you normally see that she gets an extra like 20-25% XP on a lot of the fights.
Okay. That also goes to show that like how fucked being a shield hero is because like you don't gain the same amount of XP as the others because they're more offensive, and so like you're already behind.
Terrible.
Hey, you're tied at least.